YouTube, welcome back to my channel. My name is Aliyah, and on this channel we talk all things set apart. So we talk about my journey from Islam to New Age, to our Heavenly Father Abba Yahuwah and his son Yahushua HaMashiach, to the truth. We talk about my time in the New Age as well. We talk about just life stuff like trauma and stuff. We also talk about set apart weight loss and a set apart health journey. So if this is content that interests you, please like and subscribe to my channel. Toda, and in Arabic, shukran. Alright y'all, so today I want to talk to y'all about a situation that makes me very, very uncomfortable. It's a legal situation that I am going through, and lessons I'm learning along the way with this. And I think a lot of people will be able to relate to it because they may not be going through the situation that I'm going through, but I know a lot of people are dealing with spouses that are not in the truth, that don't believe in what they believe in, and so they're dealing with an unequally yoked marriage, and they're having to exhibit a lot of patience. So in 2017, I had gotten married to a Muslim guy. I went to a Muslim country, I went to Egypt, and got married to this guy. I met this guy through my father, who said he was a good guy, and I believed him, and I was like, all right, fine. Even though initially I did not want to marry him, initially I did not want to talk to him, but my dad's like, no, he's a good guy, talk to him. And I was asking my dad all these questions, and I was like, okay, I will talk to him. And we talked for a few months, and I flew to Egypt and married him. And that's where the whole mistake starts. So I married this guy, and even getting married there was a pain in the butt. If you ever go to any Middle Eastern country, but especially Egypt, they make things hard just to make things hard, and they make up rules on the spot, and there's a lot of just red tape and a lot of bureaucracy, and they just make things so hard over there for no reason, just because they can, and it's really annoying. But anyways, it was a struggle, but we ended up getting married, and the way that it took place, it was an Islamic marriage, and there has to be 2 witnesses. So the way that it is in Islam, which I don't agree with this, is it has to be 2 male witnesses or either 4 female witnesses, because apparently the testimony or witness of a female is not good enough. There has to be 2, because according to the Quran, we're too emotional to, I guess, give witnesses to be witnesses, which is stupid, but that's how it is. Or it has to be 1 man and 2 females. So yeah, that's how it is in Islam. Like, oh, one man is fine, 2 men is fine, but it has to be like double the amount of females, which is stupid. It makes no sense. But anyways, there was 2 male witnesses. There was an imam. There was my dad, his mom, my son, and me and him. And so we got married. And things went great at first. Of course, that's how it is, you know? It went great at first. And then I had to fly back to the States because I had a job at the time. And so I flew back to the States, and I noticed things started to change little by little. He was not talking to me as much. You know, I would call him a lot, and he wouldn't answer the phone for weeks and weeks at a time. And I just got this like feeling. I just did not get a good feeling. But, you know, I was trying to be, you know, the good wife, and, you know, just be patient with him and call him and wait for him and all of this stuff. And he would call me maybe once every couple of weeks. And he claimed that he was depressed. And, you know, I was like, okay, I wanted to give him the benefit of the doubt. Anyways, a couple months fly by. I'm working, you know, doing my mom duties, and I fly back to him like 6 months later, I think. And when I flew back the second time, 6 months later, a day or 2 within flying back to him, I just had this feeling in my gut that this marriage was over. It was very different the second time I flew around. He was a very different person, and he was depressed, and he didn't really interact with me very much. And the whole trip was really, really depressing. I was looking forward to this trip. I was looking forward to seeing my husband at the time. And yeah, I just knew within the first couple days of that trip that my marriage was over. And yeah, he just was not the same person. Very different person from when I initially talked to him and married him. Like, complete 360. So anyways, after that second time, I flew back to the States. On the plane ride, I was really sad, and I just had a feeling things were over. He was doing the same thing. Like, you know, I was trying to call him, and he was not responding. And I'll be honest, I had reached a breaking point at that time where I'm just like, you know what? Whenever he calls me, I'm not going to respond because I'm just over this. And I remember my dad was asking me questions like, why isn't he responding? And I'm like, I don't know. And so, yeah, that's what I did. So when he did call, I didn't respond. And of course, he would get really angry at me and he would, say all this stuff. And he would go to my dad and, he would get my dad involved. And, I told my dad, I'm like, Dad, I mean, it's not fair that I call him for weeks and weeks at a time and he does not respond to me. But the one time that I don't respond to him, he's acting this way. And anyways, during this time, it was revealed to me that yes, he was lying and manipulating to me. He really didn't love me like he said he did. And he was just using me. So I was like, okay, well, because at the time I had done, I was trying to bring him here to the States. And when I had found that out, I'm like, I'm not bringing this guy to the States. And so I had stopped his paperwork and I had told the immigration people that I don't want him here and that it was marriage fraud. And so he got mad. He got mad because he was not coming to the States. And I'm like, why would I bring you here when you lied and manipulated? At least be honest with me. And so that's when the whole legal battle starts. I told him that I wanted to get a divorce because it was not fair that he lied to me and he manipulated to me and he wasted my time and he wasted my feelings and my energy. It wasn't fair. And during this time too, oh my goodness, this is a whole complication, but my dad had given him a power of attorney to take care of his properties and stuff in Egypt. I don't know if the power of attorney works the same here as the United States, but in Egypt, he basically has access to all of my dad's stuff, to all my dad's money, bank accounts, property. He had a car over there. He had access to everything, and he was able to take ownership of everything. And of course, that really disappointed my dad. And at the time, I don't know, I just was numb or I just didn't care. I don't know. Like I said, my mindset was very different at the time than it is now. And yeah, it's been a huge complication. I bribed him at one point to divorce me and he refused. I had bribed him, like, at the time I had a 401k and I was like, hey, I could withdraw my 401k and if you divorce me, I'll give you this money. He said no because he has access to all the properties. As long as he's married to me, on paper, he has access to everything and nothing happens to him. So I was like, okay. And, I remember trying to get my dad to talk to him to try to divorce me. But my dad was like, I don't want to talk to this guy after everything he did, which I'm like, okay, I don't blame you. So I remember in 2021, my dad was like, I'll pay for a trip for you to go to Egypt to divorce this guy. So the way that Egypt actually makes the divorce process. Let me explain that first. The way it works over there in Egypt and any Muslim country is it's super easy for the man to divorce. All the man has to do is just go to the court, sign a paper, and in a couple of months he's divorced. That's it. And he does not have to inform the wife that he divorced her. That's really trashy, really trashy. But if the woman wants to divorce, she has to go through all these hoops to get divorced. It's terrible. Like, she has to go through all these hoops to get divorced. They make it super difficult for the woman to divorce. It's terrible. And so, because I am a woman, it's very difficult for me to get divorced. Extremely difficult and extremely expensive, extremely time consuming. But for the guy, no, it's very, very cheap. And yeah, and like a month or two, he's divorced and that's it. And it really makes me angry. I'm going to be honest with you. I try not to think of the situation very much because I get so angry and I get so upset. So there is another way for me to get divorced here in the United States without me having to fly to Egypt, and it is through an international attorney. And I have consulted with an international attorney here, and they cost a lot of money. So that right there was not feasible. And either way, whether I go to Egypt or whether I do it here in the United States, it's a very complicated process, and they have to go through the Hague Convention, and I think there's certain protocols and stuff. And the Hague Convention is located in Europe. I believe it's Geneva, Switzerland. But either way, it's going to be a very complicated process, whether I fly to Egypt and do the divorce there, or I do it here through an international attorney and go through the Hague Convention. So yeah, it's a very, very complicated process. I even tried going to the Egyptian embassy, and they said there's nothing that they could do to help me. I'd have to go, go to Egypt and take care of this. So an idea that came to me while I was in prayer the other day is to see if I can find an international attorney that speaks Arabic, that's an Arabic male. Try to see if I can have like a consultation with him. And yeah, see if I can tell my dad that, hey, there's a way to do this without having to fly to Egypt. Hopefully, somebody who is not too expensive, because yeah, this situation is super unfair to me, and it's not fair to be married on paper when I really am not married. We're in two different countries. I haven't spoken to him, I haven't seen him. He does not financially support me. Like, I have all the grounds to get divorced according to the Quran and even according to Torah. So, I mean, he abandoned me. Yeah, so it's just a complicated process. We're gonna try that, and I just ask our Father Yahuwah to, open doors and for His will to be done, and that's all, y'all. So just wanted to add that as well. Shalom. Anyways, in 2021, I was offered to go to Egypt to divorce him. The problem is I did not go, and I'm gonna tell y'all why I did not go. Number one, sexual harassment in Egypt is very rampant. So as a single woman, I did not want to be subjected to sexual harassment. I wanted a guy with me. So I told my dad, hey, can you come with me and, just offer me that protection? But he said no. And I didn't know anybody at that time who would offer me that protection. So I was like, okay. Number two, I was going to have to be separated from my son for a period of time. Because Egyptian law states if he has an Egyptian father, because I was married before this guy to an Egyptian guy, that if his family finds out that my son is there, they could take my son away. So I'm like, okay, so I didn't want to bring my son there, but then I didn't want to be separated from my son either. Number three, I had a job at that time. So I was telling him, okay, let me know when the court date is, how long I got to be there, because I need to tell my job that, I'm going to be going overseas for a bit. But he would not tell me that information. He's like, yeah, I don't know, maybe you need to be here for a week, maybe you need to be here for this time. And I'm like, dude, you need to be clear with me because I've got a job. Like, at the time I had a job, I couldn't just leave the job. And then the other reason is if my ex found out that I was over there by myself, there was a potential he could have hurt me too. So I was just very, very my gut kept saying no to not going to Egypt by myself. And so it was all those reasons that I didn't go and I didn't get the divorce. Yeah. And plus, he's already not happy with me because I'm divorcing him and I'm not giving him the papers. Like, who knew what he could do to me being alone over there? Like, it was a very vulnerable situation for me. So I did not go. And part of me, I think about it, I'm like, should I have just gone? But then at the same time, I was like, I just kept getting, no, do not go. So anyways, fast forward, and he calls me. Keep in mind, we didn't talk for a couple of years at this point. He calls me one time after a couple of years of not talking to me. And he just tries to pretend that everything's okay with us. And it clearly is not. And I tell him I want a divorce. I'm like, divorce me. I want a divorce. And he's like, no, I'm not going to divorce you. I'm like, why are you staying married to me at this point? Like, you're not getting it. And I have not seen him since 2018. It is 2025. That's a whole 7 years that I have not seen this guy. And keep in mind, during this whole 7 years, I talked to him once. He called me once to basically taunt me. He's like, yeah, I'm not going to divorce you, and too bad, and this and that. And so he really made me angry. Yeah. And that was it, y'all. That's it. So I contacted an attorney over there, and basically, yeah, it's a very difficult situation for me to get divorced. And I tried to see, at one point I had a doctor here write me a note saying that I could not fly because I had medical conditions. And it was true. I had medical conditions at the time that made it really difficult for me to fly. And the judge in Egypt denied it. And I was like, oh my goodness, are you serious? Like, what they literally can do, if they really wanted to, I can literally get on a Zoom or a WhatsApp and testify, and that's it. But no, they're making me fly over there, inconveniencing me, costing me a lot of money. But no, my husband is not paying for me. I have to pay out of pocket to get divorced. And keep in mind, he took my dad's properties. So I cannot even stay in my dad's property. So I'd have to rent a hotel. He took my dad's car, so I would have to get taxis or Ubers to get to places. I'd have to get a translator because I'm not really good with the law and stuff over there, so I would need someone to help me with the legal stuff. food, all of this, it was going to cost thousands and thousands of dollars. So, and that's money I don't have. So this is something that I've really been praying to the Father about, to some way, somehow, either change his heart or open a door or something, because this is not fair to me. Like, I have not seen him since 2018. I've not seen him for 7 years. And those 7 years, we've only talked once, and him to just taunt me and say that he's not going to divorce me. And he's just using me on paper because he benefits. And I'm like, where's the justice and the fairness in this? This is Islamic marriage for y'all. This is Islamic marriage. Stay away from Muslims. Stay away from Muslim. If you're a woman, I get it. These guys, they're very good looking, they're very charming, they're very masculine. I understand the appeal. But y'all, I'm telling y'all, like, do not do it. If you are wanting to go to a Muslim country to marry a Muslim guy, like, do not do it. Even if you're here in the United States, we are unequally yoked with them. The Bible says, do not be among the unequally yoked. So no, you cannot marry a Muslim guy because you're unequally yoked. And I know there's a lot of Christians trying to justify, being in relationships with Muslim men. No, the Bible is very clear on that. Okay? And so I want my story to be a lesson to people to pray before everything. Like I said, I wish I was with the Father at that time. I was not with the Father at that time. And yeah, it was a stupid decision that I'm still paying for 8 years later. It's something that I've asked the Father, first of all, for forgiveness. I've asked him to help me. I've asked him to open doors for me. I've had other people pray for me, intercede for me, for something to be open or some way, somehow to get out of this situation, because I'm legally married over there. Even though we're separated, I have not seen or talked to him or anything, but I cannot get married here in the United States. I can't, because I'm only on paper married over there. But I mean, I have all the grounds to get divorced. Even in Islam, I have all the grounds to get divorced. In Islam, if the guy does not support you, if the guy doesn't have intimacy with you for a certain period of time, that is a grounds for divorce. And obviously, it's been like 8 years since I've seen him or anything. So I have every single right to get divorced under Islam, but Egypt just makes it really difficult. These Middle Eastern countries make it really difficult for me to divorce. So yeah, I need the Father to intervene, and I've been asking and praying, and I know he's going to come through for me, because I've seen him come through for me in so many other areas of my life. And prayer is powerful. I know prayer is powerful. I just have to continue to have hope and faith that he's going to one day get me out of this situation. I don't know how. I don't know when. But yeah, just continue to have hope and faith that he will get me out of this. In his way, in his own timing. I mean, only the Father knows. And yeah. But I just want to also share some lessons I have learned along the way from this really just situation. It's just trash. I've learned some things along the way, and I'm trying to look at this as a form of maybe protection in a way, because I've made some pretty bad decisions in the past when it comes to men. I've always been very quick and impulsive with guys. I really never took my time. And it's not good. It's not good. I've made some bad decisions with guys too. I mean, obviously I made a bad decision with my son's father and with this guy. And so I think the Father is doing this as a form of protection and also to teach me a lesson. And I've definitely learned a lot through this. That, you know what, I pray for him. I pray for him constantly. I ask the Father to get him out of Islam and into the truth. I ask the Father to bless and protect him. I ask the Father to change his heart so he can do the right thing and divorce me. I do ask the Father to have him do the right thing and give my dad back his stuff. I mean, I ask for the right thing. I ask for him to repent. And that's my prayer to him. That's my prayer for him. Constantly. So I do constantly pray for him to do the right thing and for him to get out of the deception that he's in. But some lessons I've learned is, this is probably a form of protection for me at this time. There's a reason why the Father has not opened doors in this area. I've made bad decisions with men in the past. I have not chosen good men. I did not have the Father at the time, so I've never prayed to see if that was what he wanted for me. And this is a time, I believe, to really just work on myself and work on my health and work, most importantly, on my relationship with the Father and to really get to know His Word better. And that's what I've been doing with this time, other than praying for him, praying for doors to open to get out of this situation. Because it seems like every door, every time I try to, do something with this situation, I'm telling you, doors just keep closing. And I even contacted another attorney recently, and doors just keep closing. So I need to fully surrender to the Father and look at this as maybe right now it's a form of protection. Right now, I'm not going to make those bad decisions with guys like I did in the past. I'm not going to, y'all willing, choose the wrong guy again. I'm definitely going to pray a lot before I choose the guy. I want someone that I'm definitely equally yoked with. And yeah, just in constant prayer. Like, I want someone who loves the Father and His Son first and foremost before he loves me. I just want someone who truly loves me and not just looking at the physical, but looking at everything, like the spiritual and everything. And same thing with me too. I mean, if I were to get married again, I mean, it would be very different. I would definitely pray about it and take my time. I would not rush into things, just like a lot of people pressured me to rush in the past. And definitely have the Father involved in every step of the process. If it's His will, and again, maybe He doesn't want me to get married in this life, and I've accepted that too. So that is my situation. That's the lessons that I'm learning. And I just wanted to, I know there's a lot of people who are in marriages, and one partner is in the truth and the other partner may be in another religion or maybe atheist or whatever. And I just want to tell y'all that it's hard. It is hard. I can imagine how hard that must be to live with someone and you can't really fully be open with them because they're not going to understand, or they're going to just argue with you because they don't like hearing it. I just want to say, just keep praying for them. Just keep praying for them, that there's a reason why y'all are in this situation. The Father's not going to give you more than what you can handle. And yeah, just keep praying for them, y'all. Just keep loving them. The Father loved us through all our rebellion and all of our sin. He still loved us. Even when we were enemies to Him, He still loved us. So we have to extend that same grace to others. So yeah, and as far as the situation goes, I'm just giving it to the Father. I don't know. I don't know how He's going to do it and when He's going to do it, but I fully surrender this situation to Him. I'm just going to continue to pray. So that's all I can do at this point, because every time I try, I'm telling y'all, doors just keep shutting on me. So yeah, but that is my story on my marriage situation, and I put that in quotes because I've been separated from him for almost 8 years. I haven't seen him or anything in almost 8 years at this point. And yeah, so we must endure, y'all. We must, just pray for people, even those who are persecuting us. We must show them love. So it's hard. It's hard. I don't know if y'all are in a in a situation like this. I think my situation is a little unique, or if y'all are married to someone and it's just really difficult, or anything. Just comment down below. I would love to hear from y'all. All right, I love y'all so much, and I hope this video helps y'all. Shalom.